Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Young with the Data Management and Program Evaluation Software lecture. Apologize if you hear some of my kiddos in the background laughing, watching some shows, trying to keep them busy during this unprecedented time. Let's just jump right into this lecture. I'm going to go over a little bit of what data management is, why it's important to you in the future, the current and future. I'm also going to talk then more about software and digital technologies, specifically software that we can use for data collection, for data management and analysis. And I'll show you a couple of tools both on the qualitative and quantitative side. We'll talk a little bit about data visualizations, and then I'll end up with some software around workflow or project management, admin kind of stuff. The definition of data management really depends on the academic discipline. One of the definitions I like is that data management is a comprehensive collection of practices, concepts, procedures, processes, and a wide range of accompanying systems that can allow for an organization to gain control of its data resources. Really, data management is just an overall practice that's involved with the entire life cycle of a given data asset from its original creation point to its final retirement, how it progresses and changes throughout its lifetime, and through the internal and external data streams of an organization. There are some different types of skills that are needed in this era of research. So I also want you to think about things like big data, the acquisition of increasingly more data and information, and then how that gets used in organizational design and decision making. This whole idea of data driven organizations, clearly there's job functions, job duties, and jobs out there for data scientists and social scientists and these things. Honestly, this lecture is a little bit more about the practical tools than those specific skills, as there's a lot of skills that are just based on essential research methods and program evaluation methods. Whereas there are, specific skills related to being a data scientist and other job functions with admin and workflow and those things that are important, but we're not necessarily going to go into. When we think about some of the software and digital technologies that are involved in this realm, from research and program evaluation, there is a lot. There's more than I could include in this slide, and I don't want to keep the whole PowerPoint that long. Just know there's a lot of different software suites that you can use to collect data with. I have the most experience with Qualtrics, and Qualtrics also has some different tools embedded within it for data collection, but also data analysis. And a lot of these tools are now basically hybrid tools where they can do several different things and do them fairly well. One of the things that I'm including here when we think about data collection is also RStudio, which typically gets used more as a data analysis software suite. But RStudio and some of the other ones that we'll go into later on, they do have some built-in functions to scrape internet data or social media data that you can download from the web to do some kind of analyses with in a research frame. Maybe not so much a program evaluation frame, but definitely strict researchers and data scientists are using these tools in order to do those types of things. So again, you can use Google Forms as free. There are free versions of SurveyMonkey and SurveyGizmo. There are a lot of different platforms out there. But again, I have the most experience in my research career, program evaluation career, with using Qualtrics. I've used SurveyMonkey a little bit, obviously used Google Forms a little bit as well. And RStudio, I've only started to dabble in within the last year. Now, when we think about data analysis and management, there are different tools for both quantitative and qualitative software that you can use to manage your data and analyze your data. When we think about it in a quantitative frame, this software is going to help you do things from statistical analysis of variance, regressions, using and storing categorical data, doing more inferential statistics with multivariate analyses. You can do so much with both parametric and non-parametric statistics with a lot of different software. Qualitative data software you can use for codebook management, you can use for auto coding, keeping notes in the margins. You can also do some basic quantitative stuff with some of the qualitative software that I'll show you in a few minutes. And so that's just a good thing to remember, is that a lot of these suites have some really good hybrid functions, as I've mentioned before. So starting off with just qualitative analysis and thinking about some software, again, there's a lot of pieces of software that you can use that I've just listed on the slide. This is just some that I've had experience with. and can kind of speak to more with my own experience. Atlas TI and NVivo have really grown in the past decade. There's newer platforms like Deduce that are being used for other things like computational social science. They'll also use it for traditional content analysis that Atlas TI and NVivo can do as well. And then, of course, RStudio, is more of like a hybrid program. Does a lot of quantitative stuff, but it can also do some qualitative stuff. So, but with RStudio, the thing to remember is you do kind of need to know, or at least get some basic understanding about computer coding, whether it's Python or some different languages that are used with coding, which is why some folks don't really like RStudio, because it's not as easy as just drop down windows and click on different aspects to run your data analysis. So Atlas TI is a great qualitative analysis software, and really it helps researchers to uncover and analyze complex phenomena that's hidden within lots of different types of data. I mean, from videos to text to images. Atlas TI and some of those other platforms, they can help you manage and analyze this. So down in the corner, I've got just a screenshot. I've downloaded some Twitter data into Atlas TI and used Atlas TI to help me run a content analysis. It will generate some automatic codes based on some things that it sees, but you can clearly go in and manipulate that and do just about anything you want with it in order to run your thematic or content analysis. Atlas TI and some of these other platforms are also, they have some unique special functions, from survey management and data visualizations to geospatial plotting of like geographic information type systems, and that can help you really analyze and make sense of your data in a much better way. And again, this really becomes important for data-driven decision making, which we'll talk about in a few slides. Deduce is a cross-platform app for analyzing qualitative and mixed methods research with text, photos, audio, videos, spreadsheet data, and a whole lot more. This has been designed really to support researchers, evaluators, and a lot of their teams as they look into incorporating qualitative and mixed method approaches within their work. So again, Deduce can use text, audio, video, images, survey, and even test data. They can use this to accomplish things in their work with content analysis or any type of qualitative analysis, making sense of data, a lot of data, especially data that maybe is unstructured. I've had colleagues that have used Deduce to analyze the hashtag why I stay and why I left when they're looking at the issue of intimate partner violence. There's a couple articles in social work literature out there related to that. It's getting used in a lot of different academic disciplines. It is mostly web-based. It's up in the cloud. You can access it through a web browser, internet browser, and you can do a lot of different things with it, from data visualizations and unique printouts, data analysis, the things that you might want to do with traditional data analysis software. You can also work collaboratively with other coworkers, colleagues, researchers. It has some really good and easy integration of qualitative data with demographics, surveys, test scores, and other quantitative data that you can mix in a mixed methods form to really help your project or your data-driven decision making go more smoothly and help you to make those decisions that can be key in organizational planning. In the quantitative analysis software realm, there is a ton of software. What I have here on the slide is just some things that I've had some experience with, as again, not so much with SAS. I use a lot of SPSS. JASP is a newer one that I'll go into in the next slide here. And some of these are free and some cost a lot of money. Like SPSS is fairly expensive. It requires a license, whereas JASP is totally free. It's open source. You can download it to your machine, your device, and use that as well. I'll talk a little bit about Data Basic IO in a couple of slides. It's okay. It's web-based, meaning you just access it through a web browser. But I've only used it a couple of times because it got real clunky when I was trying to ask it to do some things with some Excel files and whatnot. I'm not really going to go over Microsoft Excel and Google Docs or even really SPSS. A lot of folks tend to have some experience with those. And again, RStudio can be great. There are other aspects of RStudio or just using R. RStudio tends to be the more user-friendly version of using R for data analysis. But if you really want to get, researchy and geeky on the research, you can go over to GitHub on online. And GitHub has a whole bunch of different code and other tutorials and different things to help you understand how to use RStudio. Because again, RStudio is free and it's a pretty powerful data analysis suite.